Hello, Sagittarius. It is Marley with Fawn and Fire Intuitive. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm back. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. So I'm doing a reading for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. I did feel like these messages were for the North Node as well. So if you don't know yours, just look it up. You can Google online. It's very easy to find. And then if you want, you can watch the video for your North Node as well. All right, let's get going. Oh, one thing. Because I've been gone so long, I wanted to do something for those of you who are still following me, because I greatly appreciate you. So if you want a personal reading, comment down below that you want a personal reading, and I will pull a card for you. You can ask a question, or you can just say, I want a personal reading, and I'll just say what comes out. Okay, that'll be for like the first hour after this video is posted. Okay. All right, so I pulled some oracle cards to start, and then I will pull some more cards as we get going. So the very first thing you have is Owl Spirit. You see clearly now, and this is number 43. Then you also have the Scarab Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you, number 52. So I think most likely you have been having some experiences where you're realizing the truth about certain situations. You're probably also realizing the truth about yourself, because we have Reclaim Your Power, number 44, the Panther Spirit in the reverse. And so most likely you're seeing that certain things that made you feel like you weren't worthy, that it was never the truth, that you never lost your power, that you've always been powerful and magical. You know, I saw something recently. Someone was saying that Sagittariuses are actually the most magical of signs, because they go by their intuition. They live life fully. They are incredibly intelligent, and they're able to like put themselves out there and do things and live freely. And, you know, I think it's interesting that I heard that message this week, and then just seeing, you know, these cards about your power and magic working through you. You're being encouraged to see the big picture, because you might feel like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not seeing some of the things I want happening the way I want it to happen. So you're being encouraged to see the big picture. Like, and this is the Giraffe Spirit, number 29. And that is, you know, with higher consciousness, you do kind of have to get out of your mind and view things from a higher perspective. You almost observe, and you're able to like see everything from this higher perspective that isn't bogged down with like who's right, who's wrong, or even necessarily what's happening in the 3D, but also you're able to see further out how things are unfolding. You're being encouraged to continue to sing your own song, not to stay home, not to stay home, not to stay hidden, to step out, because you are transforming. We have the Butterfly Spirit. Number 11, transformation is beautiful. You know, and some people are not going to get your transformation. It might seem threatening to them. You know, and Sagittarius, you're such a bright light right now that some people might be threatened. It's like you won't even say anything, but just being around you, because of how you choose to live your life, because you choose to be free, because you choose to be vulnerable and speak your truth, it will automatically kind of shine a light on people who aren't in that place. And they will feel insecure or uncomfortable around you, because you're not being held down by other people's judgments anymore. You've decided to reclaim your power. You realized your power was never lost to begin with. And I just want to remind you, one of the things I was thinking about recently with the butterfly is that a butterfly, to a bunch of caterpillars who don't know their destiny, they might feel threatened by the butterfly. They might not understand the butterfly. For someone who hasn't gone through the transformation that you've gone through, they might not get it. And you might be the catalyst for them actually looking deeper. And so don't get discouraged. Don't allow it to affect your power when certain people react negatively, or don't want to be around you, or you feel like you're being judged, or you feel like you're misunderstood. I know from personal experience, like when I started going through my spiritual awakening, I mean, people are like, you're going to hell. um, you know, you're a demon. I mean, I got told horrible things. And some of those very people who judged me the harshest are now like certified in Reiki, manifesting all the time. So hold tight. You see clearly because you've done work, because it's part of your natural path to be able to see clearly. And so hold on to that. No matter what's happening around you, just keep singing your own song and seeing the big picture. And anytime, if you feel like certain things, like with this be at home in the reverse, if you feel like certain things are kind of falling away, just allow them to. It doesn't mean they're gone forever, but often things fall away from our path when we're aligning with new things that we're meant to experience. Like on the 5D, everything is love. So things might fall away and it seems painful and it seems like, oh, they're so judgmental or this or that. But on the 5D, when certain people pull away from you, it's because your higher self and your soul is like, oh no, we got to align over here. And if we're too heavily focused on the wrong thing, just out of love, things will kind of fall to the side or challenge us or strengthen us. And that's all part of the contrast of living in this life. But we can rest assured that on the higher levels, it's all love. And we don't need to be afraid. Everything is working out in your favor. We have the mask here, and then the sustainer, and the mystic, and that is the moth. So you've got the butterfly and the moth, okay? And the moth is very significant to spiritual ascension, okay? So you are being sustained, you are being molded and shaped, and you don't need to wear a mask anymore. You don't need to hide how colorful you are. You don't need to hide your light under a bushel. The box. Okay, so a lot of you are, seems like possibly surrounded by people firmly in the 3D. They're comfortable with the box. If you look at the 3D, everything's boxed in. This is what a man should, I mean, thankfully it's changing. Consciousness, collective consciousness is ascending. But, you know, the 3D box, it's like good, evil, man, woman. This is what, you know, a good family looks like. This is what a bad family looks like. Even in religion, it's like, you know, like in Christianity, like God was in a box. It was like, oh, you know, a man with a beard and God, the devil. It was also just like stereotypical boxed in, and you have stepped out of that box. You are most likely, if you're watching this with the message that's coming out, you've ascended and you are being encouraged to just really take a good look at, like, you see clearly now, you see the big picture. There's no more need for masks. There's no more need for boxes. So take a good look at, like, have you brought any aspects of being a caterpillar into being a butterfly? And also just don't be ashamed or offended when people who are still wearing the mask and in the box don't understand. They will understand. It's everybody's destiny to understand eventually. But the truth is, it's not our job to force people to understand. Because if you've gone through a spiritual awakening, you know that it's tumultuous. It is painful. And the higher you get in consciousness, you know, there comes a point where there's a realization of, oh my gosh, Source wants to experience living this life through all these different vessels and all these different perspectives, and there is no right or wrong. It is not wrong to not want to be spiritual. It is not wrong to want to live a boxed-in experience. And in fact, you know, we call it the matrix. There's certain people who say like, oh yeah, people are trying to make you forget. There might be some stuff trying to cause us to forget like our power, what we could create, but there's a lot of fail safes that Source put into place to forget to forget oneness, to experience separation, to experience love, loss, childbirth, like all the miraculous things that you only can experience in this form. So it's pretty special, and it's not wrong to not be spiritual or not be on a spiritual journey. It's totally fine to not be that. And it's not anyone's place to try to force someone down the path that, I mean, there's no difference between somebody trying to force somebody to wake up or force someone to recognize a soul connection. It's no different than, you know, being born into a household where they try to force you into the religion, or force, you know, guilt you about your sexuality, or guilt you, you know, tell you can't be a painter because painters don't make money. You know, it's like anytime you're trying to force or control someone into a different viewpoint or perspective, that's not really your place. The people you are meant to shine the light for, and by simply being you and like owning your authenticity, taking off every mask and transforming, you know, people will see it. People will be changed by your energy. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, but this is also, you know, talking about emotions that are kind of out of balance, like emotions might have taken over. And in this card, it's funny, everyone's gotten this card today. She's eating the brain. So your emotions are feeding off your thoughts and your perspectives a lot. Your perspectives about yourself, about other people. And so often when we look outside of us and outside of ourselves towards other people, other circumstances, and we allow that to dictate who we are and our power, especially like if you've been on the spiritual journey for very long at all, you quickly feel out of alignment. Your vibration quickly drops because ultimately you're stepping out of your alignment. You know, the I am energy. You are the creator. I am. I am. I am sovereign. I am powerful. I am worthy. I am whole. I am complete. I am wisdom. I am alive. I am living. I am one. Yeah, and it almost seems like with this Four of Swords in reverse, you know, these thoughts that are kind of really affecting your emotions, they're happening when you're spending maybe too much time thinking, too much time on your phone, too much time in bed, too much time isolated. Like you are being encouraged to like get out, enjoy life, explore. It's okay if not everyone gets you. You know, so much about the spiritual journey, it is about like remembering oneness, remembering your connection to everything. Like the farther down you get, you realize, oh my gosh, like we're all so telepathic, we're all so connected energetically. And a lot of people, you know, they get motivated on their spiritual journey by wanting like a deep soul connection, because they really want to connect to love. They want to connect to that higher vibration. They want to be understood. And it's almost like you're in a place where even like any kind of definition that's boxed in, like soulmate, twin flame, like light work or anything like that, it's like you're being encouraged, like just keep shedding the definitions and the boxes and the labels. And that might feel a little uncomfortable at times as you're kind of balancing the head and the heart, and actually even transcending those emotions and seeing the bigger picture, the higher. Some of you guys are really like, you know, working on enlightenment here, it seems like. But, you know, it's not always going to seem like balanced or fair some of the time, because because as you're letting go, it's not so much about, it's like you want that deep soul relationship, but that deep soul relationship is happening within. It's happening with like you understanding how worthy you are of love, you understanding that you are love, that you are magic, that you are powerful. And that can be hard to accept when you're kind of hoping that something outside of you is going to fulfill that. Like you really want that deep, like soulfully fulfilling relationship or career. And it's not to say you're not going to have it, but you could be right now being encouraged to like let go of the labels and the codependency, because, you know, ultimately unconditional love is freedom. Not, there's no form of control in it. Okay, this is for some Sagittarius is on like a big time spiritual path, really like really owning your power to the point where you can, you're going to be creating some amazing things. Some of you, I just really felt, and I got chills in my crown chakra when I felt that, like, you're a healer. And actually, the more that you are able to like love unconditionally without attachment and be fully yourself, and I just heard throat chakra, and share your truth, you are going to be incredible healers. Ooh, so many chills. Page of Swords in the reverse. And what's so crazy about this card is there's butterflies. It's like being displayed on the wall. He's peeking in. Like, who put the butterfly back in the box to just display it? For some of you, this message is an activation. You might not even realize like how powerful you are yet, or where you're headed on your journey, but you're headed someplace really, really powerful. And there are others who are watching your transformation, and they might want to keep you, they might want to hold on to you, but you're not meant to be put behind glass right now. And for some of you, you don't feel like this describes you, or that you're ready, or that you're powerful. You're not quite sure how to kind of get out of your mind yet. So it's like the sword feels too heavy. Like, I'm not a warrior, but you are. You're a warrior. You're a butterfly, and you're transforming. And this message could be for those of you who are like, no, that's not me. Like, right now you're in the cocoon and you're about ready to break out and fly. And so you could experience some of this in the near future. When you get too much in your head, you know, some of you might kind of struggle with depression, certain things like that. But even that is, you know, part of that is because of how deeply you feel and the way your mind works. And because you've been taught your whole life to like look at the world, look at all the problems in the world, look how people are acting, look at how people have affected me, I'm a victim to this person, because you're getting out of victim mentality. And that can be a little bit of a difficult switch, because it's like your whole life there's been one story, and in order to get past that story, it's like you kind of realize like, oh wait, that wasn't right, I shouldn't have been treated that way. You kind of accept the victim mantle, but then if you stay there, it can actually start creating more of that in your life, you know? So it's kind of like recognizing that the things that you've endured, they are your mantle, you know? They are your trophy, and don't stay stuck in victim mentality in your thoughts. When you see that happening, you know, the world's going to start to feel a little smaller really quick as you're dropping down in consciousness, and it stops your expansion. It stops your Four of Wands, you coming into union with the things that are super fulfilling to you. And for some of you, if you're feeling like a lot of heartbreak over a certain situation that hasn't like come into union or panned out, it's because on a higher level, you are being propelled into your power. Your power is not tied to another person ever, okay? And you could just be getting, like I said, like caught up in almost the collective energy that surrounds like soulmates and twin flames and stuff like that. And so you can kind of feel like you're going crazy a little and feel really down instead of allowing what's happening to happen. Ten of Cups in reverse. And the Nine of Wands. You know, if you go back and forth a lot, like for the if this is resonating with you, it's like you're not meant to do it the way everybody else has done it. You're meant to forge your own path, okay? And when heartbreak happens, it's not keeping you from your Ten of Cups. It's trying to guide you towards your Ten of Cups, okay? And you don't have to stay on guard. Like for some of you, it's like you've been waiting so long. You've let someone take so much from you. And you might think you're being loving, but ultimately, it's so important for you to reclaim your power because you are sovereign. You are a prize. You are a treasure. And sometimes when you overgive, not only do you slow down your own blessings and your own progress because you're not in receptive mode. You're not willing to be patient enough to be in receptive mode. You feel like you have to fight for it. But oftentimes the catalyst for somebody kind of rising to where you would really need them to be to get the Ten of Cups is they need to earn you. They need to earn you. And that's hard because it requires you to like wait and focus on yourself and get out of the house and do what you need to get done. And it's not earn you in like a bad way. It's not earn you like, oh yeah, be in like a whatever energy, like I'm too good for. No, it's, you know, your worth and you're focused on the things that are really important. You're seeing the big picture and you're not just, you know, leaving one 3D idea and getting caught up in another one. That might sound spiritual, but if it's about boxing things in and controlling them and labeling them, it's not. It's not. Because it's not about freedom. It's not about expansion. It's not about expressing love. It's about neediness. Soulmate. Separation. Engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And what's so funny about this card? For some of you, yes, you know, someone could be coming back. But what's so crazy about this card is anytime I see higher level of commitment, I never think of it about as like the relationship becoming more committed, although it can mean that. But I think of it as it's like a higher level of commitment to self, to your vision, to like what is actually important. Like sometimes in order to escalate things in our romantic life, we have to commit more to ourselves. We have to like get that higher level of commitment to ourselves and what we really deserve and what we really want. We have reconciliation in the reverse. Children in the reverse. And this could be the one. So it seems like for a lot of Sagittarians, first off, the energy's gotten too heavy in the love department because flirt's in the reverse, okay? So yes, you have a deep spiritual connection. One thing that's interesting, yes, there are a lot of different kinds of soulmates or deep spiritual connections, and they are meaningful. They are very meaningful, but they hardly ever mean what you think they mean. And they, deep soul connections, you know, separation will come when you're not having self-love, when you're not actually, when they've run their course, and when you're not actually focused in the right place. If you're too focused on like a soul relationship, it'll always pull back to allow space for you to get your focus back in the right place. Because like I said, on the higher levels, it's all love. So it's not about reconciliation. And there's certain things you think like, you might feel like you're running out of time, or you might feel like, oh, there's obstacles. It's the obstacles that make them not want me or whatever. But no, it's the energy. It's the energy. The energy gets heavy. The energy gets out of whack. The focus gets put in the wrong place. And then, you know, weird things start to mirror back to you. Okay? Fate in the reverse. The void in the reverse. movement in the upright. So for some of you, like I said, patience is important, and also getting curious, being willing to explore, not getting so caught up in one person that you're not willing to explore, okay? Sometimes we meet certain soulmates that are very catalyzing. They will open up, they will really kickstart kind of your Kundalini awakening, or they will open up certain chakras. They will be a muse in a way. So they will kind of align, it'll be like this hard hitting, powerful, passionate thing that just knocks you onto a different course. Okay. But it's important to not allow, like, if you're so hyper focused on that you are afraid of the void, you're afraid of the lack. The void is the most powerful place to create. When you think of the creation of the universe, it all started in a void. So even if you don't see what you want, that doesn't mean it can't be created. Everything is created in a void. There is a lack. Like, even to me, like consciousness, you think about how, like, yes, ultimately on higher dimensions, there is no time and everything. But if you think about it in the 3D, how consciousness has evolved and continues to evolve, it's very powerful. It's like there's this void, there's this need, there's this longing, and consciousness creates a solution to it, But don't get so caught up in like, oh, this is my only fate, because it's just not true. When you are extremely spiritual, like this pile is, and especially if your human design, if you're a left-handed cross, everyone you meet is a deep soulmate. Okay, everybody. There's all these lessons being imparted back and forth, and that's like why you came. But like, you might get caught up in like, that's my fate, and then you get bogged down almost like in quicksand, instead of like allowing things to breathe and flow and come in and come out. Some of you might benefit from getting out in nature. There's a big need for self-love and exploring. Like, what would actually feel good to you right now? Like, embrace your freedom. Get creative. You might not feel ready to be like a revolutionary and a warrior, and that is totally fine. In your power, it might be, painting, singing, writing, hiking. It's not necessarily about having to like tear down all old foundations and build something up. And if you're getting too forceful, that means you're down in like the solar plexus. The passion and anger are what's driving you, rather than more in the creator space. Does that make sense? Okay. So I do have a course coming up really soon called ECLIPSE, and it is about balancing and fully understanding your own dualities, your own archetypes, and how to integrate them so that you can become a really powerful manifester and just tear down any ceilings that have been holding you back from your success. That's going to be starting in August. So if you're interested, I'm on Instagram, Fawn and Fire Intuitive. You can follow me there and send me a message. It will be up on my website very soon, but it's not up there yet. Or you can shoot me an email if you want information about it. Again, if you want that reading, just comment down below. And once I upload this for the next hour, I will be giving out personal readings as a thank you for sticking with me, even though I haven't been on YouTube very much. And let me think, is there anything else? I'm also on Facebook. Okay. So much love to you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.